As one of many observability tools in a large ecosystem, Rollbar provides a number of different integrations and auxiliary services to reduce the tedium of account management. In this video, we will introduce Rollbar's Terraform Provider and the value that it delivers. Administering your account is an important step in deriving the most value from Rollbar, as well as being a critical factor in managing data visibility across teams. However, this process can be tedious and slow for larger accounts, and manual configuration offers little to no value over automation. Fortunately, the Rollbar Terraform Provider offers an automated way to manage a Rollbar account. The provider will automate the creation, modification, and removal of resources within your account, such as projects, teams, and access tokens. Terraform has a rich ecosystem of providers and is one of the most widely used tools to provision and manage infrastructure. This integration gives Terraform users an easy way to manage Rollbar accounts. Since Terraform is declarative, you will only need to describe the end state of your infrastructure, and the provider will make the changes required to reach that state using the Rollbar API. Alright, so in this brief demo, we're going to take a look at a sample TF file, and then we will use the Terraform provider to set up and tear down those resources. So first of all, let's take a look at that file. So the main.tf file, this is where the provider and the resources are found. So up at the top, it starts off with the required providers, so think of that as a requirement section. The Rollbar provider is the only one we're using here since we're just provisioning Rollbar resources. Alright, so we declare the provider, and then we have the individual resources here. These are very basic, and they all include the use of example in their naming convention. So we have the name declared there, and then as the actual name attribute, we see that below. With the Terraform structure, there are going to be fields that are not populated immediately. Those dependencies will be built as the resources are created. So when we see things like team IDs and depends on pointing to these bracketed attributes, that's because we don't have the explicit value for that yet. And this is also going to serve as a reference, so we don't really need the explicit value for those attributes. All right, so for the project, we'll create one called example, and then it's going to have one team that it depends on. So here we have that team, again, called example. And there's going to be one user that's added to that example team as well. So here we have example user, and for that I'm just going to use one of my alias email addresses. So this is just my regular address with one of the plus suffixes on that. All right, so now let's actually run the Terraform commands to create these resources. So first what I'll do is run the Terraform init command just to ensure that it is up and running. All right, successfully initialized. So next we're going to need to run the Terraform plan command, and that's actually recommended here. What that's going to do is it's going to tell us what is planned based on the TF file that we have in this directory. So those are the three resources that were in my main TF file. We can see some of the additional attributes that are being added here, and a lot of these just say known after apply, thanks to those references that we have. And since all of these don't exist in my account currently, if I go here to my project settings, just to refresh and double check, there is no project called example on this page. So these are going to be created from scratch. And the provider knows that as well, because that's what the plan, we take the TF and then that's going to be compared against what actually exists in the file. So with the plan, it's going to check the API and determine what resources exist, if any, from the TF file. All right, so step 2 for the Terraform commands, we're going to run Terraform apply. And that is going to be the command that actually makes the changes to put the plan in place. So again, it's going to tell us these resources that are going to be created by this plan. And then it prompts me to confirm that I do want to make these changes. So here I enter the value yes. We can see that it takes some actions there. It's going to provision the resources to match up with the plan that we have. And then the result that I see here is that there were 3 resources added, the ones that were not yet created. And since nothing was there and nothing needed to be removed, we have no changes or destructions there. All right, so let's confirm that the provider did its job and that we have these new resources. There we see the example project. It is provisioned, but since we have to do things with the UI and with our code in order to get those first items, it's just going to exist in here on the project listing page for now. Then going into the teams, we see that there is an example team here. So this is the one that was created as a result of that plan. And if I click in here to see the members, there is the address that I added for my example user. And in this case, an invitation was sent. So this user is not fully added to the project until they accept that invitation, and that's due to the account-wide settings that I have in this account for how to add new users. All right, so those are the resources. They were created in my Rollbar account. And now let's just go back and ensure that we can also deprovision these and remove them using the Terraform destroy command. So here it's going to tell us what is to be destroyed. So similar to the plan in the apply, we can see now that it's identified the resources that need to be removed by the provider in order to complete that destroy command. And again, I confirm that I do want to make those changes. The command runs, and then we can verify that the project, team, and users are no longer in my account. So there's no more example that's showing on the projects page. If I look at teams, there is no more example project. And since the user was just invited to that and the association was tied to the team, that is no longer showing here as well. If we go to the users page, that resource is not going to exist here either. It would only exist after the invitation has been accepted, but this is just to confirm that there are no remnants of that resource left on the page. Check out our GitHub repo and the Terraform registry page to learn more about the Rollbar Terraform Provider.